It's usual to feel a little bit nervous when thinking about approaching a neighbour, but it is important to also realise that if you have a problem, you're not going to be able to solve it until you do. So it's very important to actually make that initial step, and you have to realise that once you do, things will get better. So the initial step is to actually go and knock on that door or put in that note in that letterbox. So if you are feeling anxious, just be aware that it is completely normal, but you've got to remember that if you've got a problem and you want that resolved, then that's the bigger picture. So keep that in mind when you're approaching your neighbour.
If you feel anxious to go and talk to your neighbour, there are a few options that you do have. Whether bringing a family friend or a friend to your neighbour's property to discuss the matter, if that does make you feel a bit more comfortable, that is always an option. Or if that's not an option, to put something in writing and let them know if that does make you feel a bit more comfortable.
If you feel uncomfortable with your neighbour, then you might choose to have a conversation with them with someone else present, someone that they also feel comfortable with. If you feel scared or very frightened of your neighbour, then you might choose to have a problem-solving conversation or something like a mediation at a very neutral site, like the Dispute Settlement Centre, or with a mediator at another site or another centre, so that people can feel safe with each other in that conversation. If you feel very frightened of somebody, then you oughtn't to attempt to have a conversation with them without a third person.
Difficult people in life are prevalent and frequent, so developing your skills in any circumstance is required, let alone when you want to approach them in regards to offence. In these sort of matters, it's very important to be clear in what it is that you want the other party to do or to come to the party with. They might be difficult for a number of reasons. It might be a language barrier, it might be something they perceive that you have done or that they've had problems with the other neighbour. So you just want to get everything out in the open and try and work through those issues as best you can.